What's going on, people? My name is David, and you are being welcomed right now to the Most High Show. And if you're unfamiliar with the Most High Show, this is a platform that talks about recovery, the struggles of recovery, the joy of recovery, the fellowship within the recovery, and just how people are living their real lives, and they'll be telling their real stories on this show. When we come back from our little break, we're going to have the mystic moment with Christian, and then after that, we will get with our guest Chris, who has decided to hang out with us all the way from Hawaii. After these messages, please, Jeff, hit it.
Welcome to the Most High Show, a show about recovery, spirituality, and all that. Produced, posted, and hosted by people in recovery who have strength and hope and want to share it with you. If you or someone you love is suffering, we want you to know you are not alone. This is the Most High Show.
The Rock goes, Hawaii.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Are we back already? Oh, man, my bad. Hey, folks, we're back. That was the intro. All right, so we're going to start this off with a moment that I love to interact with my brother, the Reverend Christian Jansen, and he is going to be bringing in the mystic moment topic. What's up, man?
What's up? Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Hey, man, thank you for having me.
Thank you to Chris for being here, and Jeff running the ones and twos.
My man, Jeff.
Yeah.
Love that dude. I just love seeing him, man. I really do.
Yeah. So this is where I'm coming from.
Okay.
I'm coming from some recovery literature.
All right.
And this is out of step 10.
Okay.
Step 10 is continue to take personal inventory, and when we're wrong, promptly admit it. Here we go.
All right. I'm ready.
It is a spiritual axiom that every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there is something wrong with us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you take? When you hear that, what's your reaction? Head, heart, gut. What's your reaction?
Well, it makes me, when I think about that, I think about like whatever obstacle that I'm facing, how I'm reacting to it. Am I reaching to my higher power to help me and to assist me in whatever issues that I'm having? And, am I doing it myself? Is God with me in this struggle or this obstacle? And, it kind of like changes. It's a perspective thing for me too, because a lot of time I think I'm looking for someone to blame. And it's always me, man. What can I do for myself? How can I make it better? Yeah. Where is God with me? What's the lesson to be learned in all this? Yeah. And that's like really a big change for me. I think that I'm really like trying to change the perspective of things and how I handle them.
Yeah. So instead of blaming, right?
Yeah. Instead of looking like to whose fault it is, I try to look inside myself.
What the solution is.
Where's the resolution? What can I do to make it better? Yeah.
All right. Why do you think they put this in step 10?
Well, I think step 10 is I think it's like a growth thing. Like it's a continuation of some things that you've already should be going through in the steps, right? It's okay. It's a check. You've got to keep doing it. Hey, now that you went through these other steps, are you making amends continually? Are you checking yourself? Are you taking a personal inventory? Are you talking to somebody about it? And that kind of like doing that as a continuation, it's almost like what is it with me? Yeah. This is a self-reflection of me. How am I handling my life right now? Yeah. How am I handling my recovery? How am I handling my family life, my friends? How am I serving? Am I doing that? Am I doing these things? Yeah. All that. Am I on the right track with you?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but so it's like that a daily, nightly, when we retire at night, right? Mm-hmm. We take a look at our day. Were we self-seeking? Were we dishonest? Right. Is there something we got to tell somebody about? Right? Is there, but we be careful not to drift off to morbidity, because that would diminish our usefulness to others, right? Because it's really easy. I don't know about you, but like I can easily, my mind is like default negative. So it's easy for me when I put my head on the pillow to think about all the things I did wrong today.
Yeah.
And not even think about the things I did good, right? And I had to redefine the metrics of success for myself, because like there are some days where I might be, like, well, I'll just use today as an example, right? Like I had really good morning fellowship with our brother Wes, hung out with him. We had a really great conversation on the phone with a couple different people throughout the day, right? Handled a little bit of business, so it's like, it's easy for me to lay my head down and go, well, I didn't do X, Y, and Z. Or,
I forgot this.
According to the world's standards, I wasn't successful. Or some people might say, well, you didn't do enough, right?
Right.
But it's like I had to change the metrics to go, okay, am I being useful to my fellow? Because I think like it's really easy to judge. It's like that kingdom of heaven ain't playing by the same rules as the rest of the world is. So what I may think was a worthwhile endeavor, it might not even be.
Yeah.
And the best thing I done today might be, this conversation right now. Or it might have been a phone call I had earlier today, right? And being in the position to take those calls and to be open and have the space in my life to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's kind of where it takes me on that moral inventory. I think to the quote, right, the spiritual axiom that every time you're disturbed, it's you who's disturbed. I think when I first read that, it made me upset because I'm like, but you don't know what my wife does.
How can you put this blanket statement on?
You don't know what David did.
Yeah.
How you saying it's me. But it's saying that I can't no longer play the victim. By step 10, I don't get to play the victim card anymore.
Because.
Yeah.
I love this because this has kind of been, I don't know why this always happens, but it's almost like it's been sort of this whole week topic for me. And it's kind of like what you were talking about sounded like to me like a perspective thing, right? It's easy for you to like go negative, right? So before you lay your head down, you're not in a comfortable spot because you've not given yourself the factual good things that happen in your life,
right?
And and I'm telling you, man, like when you go 4 and 5, when you're on that level and you're going through those steps, it feels a lot of self-blame.
Yeah,
you're taking a personal inventory, right? And when I tell my sponsees, we're going to talk about the good stuff too,
right?
What qualities do you have along with these character defects that is always like takes over the room,
right?
But in reality. You see what I mean? In the factual things that you are doing good.
Yeah. Not how you feel about yourself.
Right. The factual things that you are doing good are factual. Fellowshipping with Wes, fact.
Yeah.
Getting some stuff done, helping some people, fact.
Right.
But especially in an addict's mind, even a recovering addict's mind, it's hard to lean on the good. Because it's almost like you're always playing defense. I got to do better because I didn't do this.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why didn't I do that? I could have done this.
Yeah.
So you lay in the negative a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, I didn't meditate hard enough. I pray hard enough.
I missed that in my prayer. Wow, man, was the Lord really with me when I said this prayer?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so I think the benefit of when you're disturbed, it's you who's disturbed. It's saying, because in reality, the only thing I have control over is me and my reaction to the outside world.
I just said that today.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour ago in group.
So by owning what the only thing I have control over gives me the opportunity to actually do something about my situation.
Right.
Right.
Because that's what it is. Like you realize I do have control over this.
Yeah.
Let me do something with that.
And so it's like, if I cuss you out in French, espèce de couillon, putain,
whoa,
right? You might not know exactly what I'm saying, right? But if I say exactly what I said in French and English, you're gonna be like, dude, why'd you just say that to me?
What's up with that, bro? I was just laughing when you were stuck in it, when you were saying it in French.
Right.
But now that I get what you're saying,
yeah.
that ain't cool.
Like this goes to, and I will wrap on this, but
Yeah.
you've heard of the 4 agreements, right? And so he talks about the metote, right? And so it's your mind, your thinking mind, your judge mind takes these words and assigns meaning to them, right? So no matter what my intention is to say the word, what's really happening is you're the one assigning value to the words.
It's an
inside job.
Yeah.
And so to be able to be at a point where, not necessarily be like stoic or disassociated from reality, but to be where it's like, it's not so important about what you said. I know that I can assign as much value to what you said as I want to.
Are you saying like, I know what I meant? I know what I meant. Is it something like that?
Yeah. Well, it's an inside job, right? Yeah. Like, even if anyone does something negative to me or says something negative to me, right? There's this part of me, right? Whatever it is, the flesh, the false self, whatever,
right,
that wants to retaliate, right?
Yeah.
Get defensive, right? But my Christ consciousness, the higher self, is like, we're not even worried about it. Because it's playing a totally different game. It's like, dude, why are you worrying about that? We're doing something over here. You know what I mean? So we can assign so much value. And I think that's kind of like the tip of what this thing is getting at. When you're disturbed, it's you who's disturbed. That we have to own.
I like that.
When someone does something to us, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or it's like there's even some other literature that says we invariably have at some point stepped on the toes of our fellows and they've retaliated. So it's like, at some level, I got to own my own. So if somebody says something to me negative, I got to own how I'm receiving that,
Yeah.
You ever have someone tell you the truth about yourself and it pisses you off?
Oh, I break you down.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like as soon as you get mad about it,
the
it's
reveal.
Proof. You're like, okay.
Pull my card.
Yeah.
And now I suck.
Yeah. So
that's awesome, man. That's good stuff.
Thanks, man.
Dude.
Thank you.
Man,
Thanks
good stuff. That was from our Reverend Chris Jansen over here, killing it with the mystic moment. And after this commercial break, we're going to come back with my man Chris in a minute here.
Why Most High Media? Because I don't have the answers. Other people do. And learning from the experiences, the stories, the perspectives, seeing people who've been through the darkest of circumstances and then have come out of it on the other side and have lived extremely exciting, fulfilling lives and tapped into a way of being and a way of living, but it's actually real and obtainable, that's why.
We packed up to tell the story of a young lady who lost her daughter.
So there's a extremely high correlation between suicide, mental illness, and substance abuse.
Come on the ground. Come on the ground. Sir.
I think as of this year, there's about 14 million people in America who have a co-occurring disorder, and a little more than 7% of them seek help for it.
In my addiction, I felt like I was better off dead.
I'm here to talk about my daughter, Megan, who committed suicide when she was 28.
There's enough hope in the people that do recover to where I keep going and keep showing up at places where I'm needed.
Ain't no high like the Most High. Ain't no high. Ain't no high like the Most High. Ain't no high. Holla if you need some things like love and change. I'm not talking coins and things or diamond rings. Everybody wants some change, but don't nobody wanna do nothing till the pain they can't stomach. And they told me that I believed them, so I gave them to the. Everybody thought that I was tripping, saying that I be acting different. Ain't no high like the Most High. Ain't no high like the Most High. Ain't no
most high. Bum, ain't no high. Bum, bum, ain't no high like the most high. Bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back, folks. Again, this is the Most High Show, and now we are going to get into the meat of the program. And when I talk about meat, that's when we have a guest on that takes the decadent virtual seat of service and shares the love and gives some vulnerability to show that courage of telling us a little bit about himself. Now, his seat of service is the realest seat of service I think that's ever been shown on the Most High Show, because that seat is gangster for real. It reminds me of like the Black Panthers. It reminds me of Wakanda. It's like I'm all over the place with that chair, man. I love it. It brings back crazy memories of my childhood. But the brother that we're introducing today that's going to be hanging out with us and telling us his stuff is my brother Chris. Welcome, man. Welcome, Chris, to the show.
What's up, David? What's up, Christian? What up, everybody? What's up, Jeff over there on the ones and twos?
So, like sometimes we get people on the show that I know. Sometimes they're like strangers, or sometimes I don't know what you would call Chris and I's relationship. I guess it would call it like a virtual acquaintance, because we follow each other and I see your stuff and I'm inspired by what you do. So why don't you start us off by telling us what is a day in the life of Chris today?
What's up? So my name is Chris. I am a workout junkie. No. No, I'm a proud, I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm an honorable man today. Today is just being present. Being accountable for my daily activities, and really just, I'm trying to live life. Before, when I was out there rampant in addiction and alcoholism, I thought I was doing the right stuff. Mm-hmm. But, today I actually do what I talk about,
Wow. Yeah.
Actually live it. So, you know what I mean? I just plug in all the time, with recovery, either on social media, live meetings, step studies, plugging in with other alcoholics, addicts, that's what keeps me at a leveled place now. My sobriety has given me the life I live today, so I definitely plug in as much as I can.
Now, for those of you that might have not heard the beginning, Chris lives in Hawaii, and it's a place that I've often wanted to visit. It is a bucket list destination for me. But I want to know, like, what does recovery look like over there? Is it big? Is there a big community? Where you're at on the island? What's it like?
Out here in Oahu, fellowship, there's all different kinds, man. You know what I mean? There's recovery in all different levels. NA, CA, AA, psych wards, whatever you need. Al-Anon, shit. Even to keep it real, sometimes people find sobriety in prison. So
hey, I did.
You're
telling my story for real, man.
But honestly, the recovery community is pretty big. What I get the idea from recovery is, it's getting in tune with the spiritual side, and Hawaii is full of spirituality. Being a land of ancient Hawaiians and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you feel that vibe there, right?
The vibe, you do. Unfortunately, a lot of people. There is a big homeless. A homeless situation out here, where, people are like striving to get other folks help. But, the recovery world is big out here, and I stay in tune, man. I stay plugged in. I wish I had this years ago, but I wouldn't be here today if I didn't go through what I went through.
Oh, no doubt, man. It happens because it happens, right? It's the way it's supposed to be. One thing, like I was talking with Chris earlier, saying that, even though we don't really, this is our first time ever speaking with each other, But one of the things, you know, and I meant it when I say, man, when I scroll through and I see you, I get inspired, right? Because I know a little bit. I know that you are in recovery, and you really tap in to, like, for me, like when I see your post, it's really is a full circle of health and wellness, you know, which I take, you know, in recovery. That's, to me, you know, even though I don't, you know, it's one of my hardest struggles is like, you know, taking like my diet and physical health and all those things like serious on a consistent basis. And the inspiration I get from you from that is seeing how well you're doing in those areas of your life. Has health and wellness, as far as like working out and keeping yourself like in good shape, has that always been a priority?
Yeah, always. You should have seen me before I was a crackhead in there lifting weights. Now I'm just healthy and I'm getting PRs and shit. So.
Yeah. But honestly, man, that means a lot to me. You know, there's a couple other people that I watch, man. It means a lot seeing you, you know, taking that serious in your life, man. It's just like, I got to get there. It pushes me to at least, you know, take that back into consideration and, you know, taking that serious and making it a priority. You know what I mean?
But they say one day at a time. Yeah,
hey, that's it. And that's how I'm doing it, man. For real, I really do have a different attitude towards that now, because I used to like really peak, and then, man, I just drop back down again. I peak. I want to get to a very consistent, doable level, you know, when it comes to that aspect of my life. But anyways, that being said, right? Chris, you are in Hawaii doing the recovery thing, man, and you know I can just feel the positive vibe off of you and how you're living your life right now. But you know, there's a reason you're here, right? It wasn't always like that. You know, you've been through some things. You know, and I've been through some things. You've been through some things, and I'd like to get, you know, some of that story, you know, from wherever you think it's relevant to start at. You know, when did things, you know, what got you here?
Okay, well, shit, you know, I've been in Hawaii for about 20 years. You know, always trying to fit in. I hear that constantly. Everybody trying to fit in, doing what the cool kids do. That was young, youthful stuff. That's when it was all fun and games. And as I got older, you know, kind of had kids young and low key lived a life resentful. You know, seeing friends go to college, do this. You know, I'm over here playing daddy and all this other stuff. I said playing daddy. I'm over here adulting.
Yes.
But, you know, I was angry, you know what I mean? I had a whole bunch of built up anger and I didn't know how to direct it. And the best way for me to relieve that was through the bottle and some nice, good old doobies, you know? And, straight up, this disease is progressive. I slowly got worse and worse and worse to where I pushed my family away. You know, I did that pretend, let me get some sober stuff for the look. I tried to let everybody see like, hey man, I'm okay. Like, you know, I'm doing this recovery thing. I don't even want to say I relapsed. I didn't even really try.
Right.
This is, you know, I wasn't trying. I had reservations, a long list of them. So, you know what, 2018, me and my wife got a separation, and who gonna tell me what to do? Get on, girl, you know? And I thought the grass was gonna be greener, straight up. You know, I was like, okay, nobody tell me what to do. I can drink and drug as much as I want. I'm
free, I'm doing me.
Hey, I'm free, I'm doing me. And that grass, I burned it down. I burned it, pesticides. I did a horrible job. Flames. I did a horrible job of maintaining that garden, man. You know, you know. So I was down bad. I was really down bad. I pushed my family away. I was about to get evicted. I was, you know, I'm self-employed, so you know, I was out here just acting a fool, not really handling my stuff as a responsible business owner. As a parent, I was horrible. You know what I mean? I got 3 beautiful children, and they grew up through my craziness. But when the separation was really the breaking point, you know, I was out of it, you know, staying up late, doing all kind of stuff, you know, putting myself in bad places, bad positions, like basically putting my energy where it shouldn't have been. And I know we talked about this within the fellowship, but I was spiritually empty. Like, you know, I always had this sense of spirituality.
Yeah.
But it was gone. You know, all my prayers were those empty prayers. Oh God, you know, this would be my last line, and I promise I won't do nothing else again. But, oh God, this would be my last shot. You know, like, oh God, let this land. All these empty prayers. You know what I mean? And you know, going into 2019. So my mother-in-law, she has 35 years of sobriety. She used to always tell me, oh, you got the isms. I was like, man, get out of here. You know, I drink my beer with my pinky up. Stop playing with me. It got real bad, where I ended up crawling up in the rooms, found an awesome recovery place, awesome fellowship. And I did what I had to do. You feel me? Like,
like one thing, when you said, like, now I'm cut loose, I'm separated, I'm going to go do me, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you're in the midst of that, okay, do you feel things slipping away, or in your head, it's cool, I'll just take care of it tomorrow? Like, are you like procrastinating on things, or do you feel like this unmanageable life coming at you?
Oh, hell yeah. Totally. Yeah. So check this out. You know how you don't really see nothing. You don't know you're like in a toxic relationship until you step out. You know, you hear all these stories of women staying in abuse relationships. They don't know it's bad. Yeah. Or, all these things. So like, honestly, I thought I had my life managed. You feel me? Like, I was like, I only do this at 7:00 at night.
Right.
I don't smoke crack out of a pipe. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not like that. I'm not like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always had this idea of what this person whose life was unmanageable looked like, and that was this warped image that I created. Basically a homeless dude living, under the freeway.
I know.
Exactly.
With the cup out.
So, with the cup out. And, dude, it's so embarrassing. When I think about it, it's like, oh my God, I would like choke that dude. Who are you, man? Come on. Yeah. But, honestly, my life was just completely unmanageable. It got to a place where I thought I had control of things, and I just slowly started seeing everything crumble, everything. And it got to a place where I always felt like I had it perfectly hidden, But then my mom called me one time. She's like, boy, what is wrong with you? How am I supposed to have a respectable son and you out here wilding out? And Hawaii is a small city. It's like a small, big town. Yeah. We all know each other. We talk about the high schools you went to. Everybody knows each other by 6th degree. So whatever I was doing was coming back to my mother.
Right. Everybody knew. And what you were doing, everybody knew.
And I'm telling you, I was at neighborhood drunk at the bar, talking about my glory football days and what I'm fenced to do and what I'm about to have. And boy, I was assed out. I'll tell you that.
That's something else. It's like I'm just speaking from personal experience. It's like when you're telling those stories, when you can go, you take yourself back to a time where things were fly, right? Where things were good. Like, oh man, when you played ball or something like that, your conversation, oh man, I remember we was doing this. And then you talk about what you're about to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I'm about to get this. I'm gonna have this pretty soon. I got these things in work, but and working, you know what I mean? And you're really in there. You're like, that's your talk, right?
Yeah.
But the missing part is like, what are you doing right now? Right now, you are really screwing up your life. And the people that are taking the time to pull up on the bar stool and listen to all that, they know, man, this dude, he's jacked up, man.
It was known, like straight up. I was drinking from morning to sundown. This is during the separation.
Yeah.
Before, when me and wifey were together, I was like, drinking at the parties, drink here. I was still out of control, but when the separation happened, oh man, I was drinking from sun up to sundown. Anybody that met me, you know, I give you a hug, it smells straight like, you know, fireball and weed. You know, that's all I smelled like, and stink ass breath because I didn't go to dentist at all. So,
that when you look back on that, was that the reason for the separation? Like, was that your lifestyle?
Oh, my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Totally. You know, as awesome and cool and arrogant as I thought I was.
Yeah.
You know, I had my business, so nobody could tell me shit, how to make money, how to handle this and all that.
I'm a business owner.
I'm a business owner.
Which is pretty awesome, right?
No, I'm not saying this bragging right now. I'm saying this is the mindset of how I was thinking before. My mindset was like, I'm a business owner. Who gonna tell me? I got my wife. I got kids. Yeah. I'm the only one in this town and city who doing it like this. What's up? And sure enough, you know, that lifestyle, my wife is on point. Let me tell you, my wife, she, you know, they say any woman that stay with a person like this is kind of crazy. So she got some loose screws too. But, ain't nothing that Al-Anon can't solve, you know?
So,
but yeah, that's the cause of the separation. You know, my behavior, the alcoholism. You know, her father suffers from alcoholism, and her mother has sobriety too, 30-something years at the time. Or she has 35 now, but at the time, like, you know, low 30s, whatever. But
what a blessing to have a mother-in-law that, you know, she probably was helpful to the other side of your life. You know, when you're making an honest attempt at getting it right, she was probably. It was a blessing to have her there in your corner. You know
my man. She, we can roll into it later, or
keep it going. Yeah.
So she is a pivotal pillar to my sobriety. You know what I mean? She's a hippie white Mexican lady, and you know, as much as I. You know, coming into the fellowship, you know, I didn't think folks like me got sober. I'll tell you that. I came into this room and I saw a whole bunch of heads that did not look like me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing this. This
ain't my crowd.
No, this ain't my crowd. This is a white people hippie thing. This ain't for me. Where the black folks at? You know? So, honestly, that's straight up.
Yeah.
Like, that's a major thing to my story. But she will always tell me, like, she'll keep on dropping gems, like, hey, there's this, you know, go find something that fits for you. And so I bounced around, pretending. And then I remember one day, this is like when I was totally bottoming out, she hit me up and she's like, hey, I'm gonna take you to a meeting. And I was like, all right, you know, what's up? Her and this old lady picked me up, and they don't say nothing to me. It's talking, blah, 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 you know. And at this point, I was back and forth seeing my family, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I got sober in November. So my daughter's birthday's on Halloween, my son's birthday's October 6th, and my youngest is in August. So in the midst, you know, we had the separation, but I would still show up,
doing that.
You know? Yeah. And so we had, man, you know what? I think I got sober like the day after Thanksgiving. Be real with you, I don't know what the 29th was at, but so I kept having all these family things, and let me say this: I'm a family man.
Yeah,
I value family. I value like being around my family and being a present father. I didn't have a good father figure in my life growing up, so I always told myself I won't be that. So I value that, and I completely was out of that idea of whatever, you know. I wasn't in that realm way of thinking for a good year and a half.
Yeah.
And so being around that, seeing everybody, you know, my kids being on me and all that, just, you know, it hit me so hard where I was like, I want this again. But that still didn't keep me sober. I still struggled for, you know, a while.
You had the want, like, you know, you're missing. You're you're feeling like, man, this is not the guy that I want. I'm like you said, I'm a family man, but you're doing this, you're saying these things to yourself in active addiction. So you're saying it, you know, your thoughts and your intentions are one thing, but the action because of your addiction is taking you to the other side of the tracks, man.
Oh yeah, my actions were horrible. I'm telling you, my actions were horrible. I can easily tell you how to get to point A to point B to pick up some beer and some dope.
Yeah.
But my actions to be a respectable human or a responsible father, husband, man, brother, son, whatever.
Right.
My actions did not back up. They were out the window. So back onto my mother-in-law. So
Yeah.
I felt that energy, right, of wanting to be around my family. And my mother-in-law and this old lady picked me up and they take me out to this meeting. I'm not sure if I should say it. Can I say it? I had an awesome fellowship. They brought me out to an awesome fellowship. And boy, when I walked in there, I smelled coffee. I smelled shitty cookies and cakes over here on the side. I saw a whole group of dusty black folks cheering.
Diversity was in the room, right?
The diversity was in the room, and all these people were jolly, happy, joyous, and free. You know, I look in the back, they got these things that have all these rules of a lifestyle, how to live. And I walk in and everybody's just, I'm like, what the hell do y'all not see? I am hurting. Somebody, you know, I'm hurting. Somebody came up to me, hugged me. What's up, brother? Welcome. Boom. Go sit in the front. I'm like, well, you know, I sit down and, you know, that energy in there. I don't know. That was my spiritual awakening. Okay. That right there was my spiritual awakening. And I cried the whole goddamn meeting. I sat there crying, you know, like, why are these people talking all this beautifulness? And boom, they asked me, who's here? Anybody here for their first time? Boom, I stand up. This is the first time I actually admitted to myself. This is what's that? Step one, when you completely admit you're powerless. That's when I felt I didn't have anything. Okay, I was broke as hell. So at that time, I felt like, okay, this is my identity. My name is Chris. I'm an alcoholic. Boom, I stood up. They cheered me. I felt love. I never felt that kind of love ever.
Wow.
And, they brought me a stupid ass keychain one day at a time. I was like, shit, okay. Gifted me for coming. There's cake, there's cookies, there's coffee, you know? Yeah. So that meeting is every Sunday. So I was like, watch this. I'm going to be collecting there 7 more days. Came back, boom, come back, asked me again, hey, who's here? Boom, I stood up a little bit more prideful, said my name. I didn't get a chip. They said, keep coming back. I'm like, oh, okay, that stupid ass slogan. Don't tell me that. You know? And I kept it. I kept coming back. Yeah. I kept coming back. I came back. I made 30 days. They gave me a 30-day chip. They let me say something. Hey, stop playing. Badge of honor. Stop playing. You know, that's all I wanted to do was be praised.
Yeah, man.
You know, that's all, you know, being out there, you want to be acknowledged. I want to be heard. I want to be loved, to be straight up, you know, and that's some of my deeper issues when you start going through the 4th and 5th, you know, you start looking at, you know, why I'm starting to feel these stuff, you know, some traumas of the past. Right. But I just wanted love. You know what I mean? I wanted love. I didn't want to feel
acceptance, acknowledgement, all that.
I didn't want to feel abandoned. Yeah. And I had this beautiful group of people who were all freaking misfits, just like me, telling me, keep coming back. But this, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep freestyling.
No,
but
keep going.
What got me was, again, I lacked male guidance. I can tell any female how, oh, you know, sob story, girl. Ha ha, what it do? Help me, you know? Yeah. And I could tell anybody that. But bruh, when it came to me having to talk to men, other men, and be a respectable man at the, you know, at a table, hell no. You know, I was too goofy. I felt like I wasn't intelligent enough. I felt like I didn't have enough things to talk tax brackets and all this other crap.
Keep up. You didn't have the self-worth.
You
didn't think it was good enough to sit there with them. And
look, about 30 something days in, I heard a brother speak. And I was like, oh, I want this dude. You know, not like that. I want this guy. I want what he has. I went up, I talked to him. He said, boy, I don't sponsor nobody with less than a year. I said, oh, shit, old time, you got like 30 plus, he like, boy, just keep coming, find your way. And I was like, all right, whatever, my feelings to get hurt. I just turned to the next person. I was like, okay, what's up? Be my sponsor. And the guy that I found, one time, one shot, has been everything I needed. We kind of close in age, so I ain't gonna be like he a father figure, but this is a man that I respect to the utmost. You know what I mean? A brother, my brother, like an older brother that I always wanted and needed. Sure. A positive male role model who can guide me through my shit, who can call me out. Because again, I was arrogant and, King Tut. I thought I was that dude, but when I came in here, he saw me with a t-shirt, drunken, my shirt was loose. I had a not matching jeans, hoodie, horrible bands were rough. Boy, I'm telling you, beat up from the toe up, from the floor up. That was me, And so when I met this man, he took me under his wing. And at first, I tried to play games, being a dope head. I tried to play games. Like, hey, call me every day. I try to finesse it. And he pulled me to the side. He said, hey, look, fool, a lot of motherfuckers want to be sober, but don't do the work to be sober. I was like, oh, that shit I just went through a whole portal of like, what the hell? Yeah. You think I can't do the work? Watch me. I'm about to be a poster child for this program. Stop playing. And,
that's honestly, that was a great way to absorb that.
Oh yeah, man.
Because honestly, it could have went like, especially if you're living a life where you think you up here and like you're led by your arrogance and your like profile, you can take that defensively and just dip out of the whole. So I think that was a blessing that you took it as like a challenge. Like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Oh
yeah. And I was asked out. Okay.
Yeah.
My lifestyle got me into those rooms.
Right.
Whatever self-thinking and, my own devices, whatever they say, whatever the fuck was going on out there with Christopher Dickerson, boy, did not do well. I was good at making children and good at fucking shit up.
That's me. If we would have met each other back then.
Yeah, you got a whole starting lineup and one bench player. Stop playing. But man, my sponsor has been everything. Straight up, my sponsor, he took me under his wing and he gave me some awesome suggestions how to live. You know what I mean? He when we first plugged in, this is right before COVID hit, so I had a couple months before I became a Zoom baby and shit. But once we connected, at first I was like, I told him everything, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. He's like, okay. And I was like, I told him everything. And I was like, okay, who do I say sorry to now? He's like, oh, whoa. There's steps to this, brother. There's steps to this. There's a process. Mm-hmm. Let's see who you are, And so he wanted to see my willingness. He gave me, hey, call me every day at this time. I called him every day at this time. Hey, I want you to go to this meeting and this meeting and this meeting. So I'll see this fool like 4 times a week. Boom, we open up books, we do readings.
Man, what a blessing, man. For real. Hey, that is such a blessing.
Straight up. I'm not even joking. Like, and what made me more in tune was we didn't just talk sobriety talk. It wasn't just always like, big book. I'm sorry. It wasn't just always thumping of literature and thumping of like, hey, he look at your team. Your team's doing crappy this week. I'm like, hey, bro, hey, chill out. He'll hit me with sports talk. He'll hit me with life talk. He'll ask me about my finances. He'll ask me all these different things. And that's what I needed, man. Like straight up, like when he took me under, and I, like, no doubt to this day, this dude is everything to my recovery. And I'll be forever grateful to have an awesome sponsor who led me to an awesome fellowship and all this other good stuff. So, yeah,
that's great. I just listening to what you're saying, I think, a big lesson in there is finding that meeting. Yeah. Finding that place, because, man, and nothing against anybody at any meeting, but everything ain't, for everybody.
Nope, straight up.
If you wouldn't have taken that turn and your mother-in-law didn't like take you to a different spot, I mean, it's like night and day.
Yeah, really.
Either you relate or you don't, and it's a blessing that even where you're at, and when I think of Hawaii, I just think of this place that's just so far away from everything, and like it's just small to me, you know what I mean? It's like this paradise island destination, but to think that even there you was able to find your meeting.
Oh
the
yeah,
place
man.
where like you understood things, the place where you got this big spiritual awakening. I love that that you put it that way. That was your spiritual awakening. That from whatever neglect that you had even before using or before drinking, there was something missing that was heavy, and there was something lacking in acceptance and love and all these vital things that you need in your life to become fruitful. You need that acceptance. You need that love, and to get it there, to be bum rushed by it, and when you're at your lowest, I mean that is a higher power moment, man.
Oh, definitely.
That's like made for you because of where you was at that time.
Yeah, honestly, and it's beautiful because he taught me. Not he taught me. He gave me a path to try to live by, and I took him up on it. And I got like 2.5 years, right?
Yeah.
It's not beautiful right now, like straight up. You know what I mean? I'm stuff is catching up to me. I owe some taxes.
Yeah.
I had to pay a whole bunch of debts. I had a blocker on my license. I had to clear some warrants. I had to make amends to people. I had to make amends. There's a variety of things that is happening in my life where, of course it happens to everybody, but this is living life on life's terms, straight up, like living life. But I do this shit sober, straight up. Like before, bury it. I'll handle it later, living in this place of insanity. Yeah. But today I actually have solutions. It took me 40 minutes, and maybe an extra day to clear my goddamn credit score, to clear my credit. You know how long I was sitting on that? And I know that seems so absurd, but like, I'm just saying, like,
real. Yeah.
These little things that I procrastinated, fence to do. I said it. My wife used to call me Christopher Fence to do shit. You ain't fence to do nothing. I'm like, oh, all right. I get it. You said it earlier. When somebody calls you out on your shit, boy, I'm telling you, you really, deep inside, deep inside that, all this and all that, but
that's the last thing you're trying to hear from somebody else.
That's the last thing I want to hear. You think I'm not thinking this? You think I don't know this? But I have solutions, man. You know what I mean? Today I have solutions. When times get rough, thank God, I got a list of places that host meetings I can plug in, and a beautiful thing. So I've changed. My grand sponsor says, if you're gonna change one thing, make that change everything. If you're gonna change one thing, let that one thing be everything. And
I like that.
I changed my peoples, changed my places, changed my playthings. I changed all that, and it's cool, whatever. The people that I did have before hanging around me was individuals who were like-minded.
Yeah. We
We all had an issue, but I wanted to make sure your issue was a little worse than mine, so you can't say shit to me. You feel me? And I kept them around.
Yeah.
And
that makes you feel comfortable. Again, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
I'm not him.
And that's what I did most of my life. Most of my time I was out there in my active world was I kept people like that around. And, now that I'm sober, I met some awesome friends. virtually and physically, virtually, like, so before, you go through my feed, it'll be World Star, it'll be, Wiz Khalifa bombing out, it'll be all this other weird stuff, on my feed. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want. Give me this toxic energy. Yeah, But now when I hit my feed, man, I'm seeing somebody either with supersized traps in a back that looks like a rhino or sobriety.
Yeah.
Straight sobriety.
You got a grip on your algorithms, is what you're saying.
My algorithm is on point. Look, this is all I'm doing. I'm like, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, But it's beautiful, like this is the kind of stuff I feed. You are what you eat, And I feed myself all the time. And, I got closer. What I learned through the whole process too is that sense of spirituality. My sponsor told me, my sponsor was like, so, what it do? How you see your higher power? I was like, what? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. How you sense your higher power? What you feel? I was like, everything's my higher power. He was like, and he told me to draw it. He said, to draw your higher power. I was like, what the hell? Let me draw it out. And
it sounds like a Christian project, right? That's what my man would do over here.
Hey, let me draw it out.
Yeah.
Let me borrow his idea until I found a sense of my own. And I found my sense, and as early in my stuff, I didn't go through all the steps yet, but I was in a step study. And when I got to that step study, they were like rolling into step 11. So, we used to sit back, put on a live listening to Joe and Charlie. I would listen to that, and then we dove into meditation and prayer. Now, I did meditation and prayer before, and some fake, let me get my magic, let me get my moon crystals, let me get my moon crystals and put them out so the moon could regenerate them. And, I would do all this fake meditative, spiritual guru crap, all this.
At least that was what it was to you, right? It wasn't a sincere
it definitely
way of like catching, your spirituality.
Hell no. It was all through demonic energy, a black hole, so, but through prayer and meditation, I do guided meditations. I'm not going to front. I ain't going to say every day, but I do guided meditations at least 3-4 times a week. You know what I mean? Simple, and 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I wake up in the morning real quick.
Come on.
Put on a guided meditation. It's something going on up here, where I can't really sit still and sit there. Somebody help me sit still and be like, kumbaya, bro. I'm running through a whole bunch of thoughts.
Everything's happening but meditation.
But the guided meditation, it's order. It's like, let me sit back, breathe, do this. You're like, all right, okay, and with that, not just that, doing I can say this, all right, doing the 3rd step prayer, doing the 7th step prayer, constantly doing the serenity prayer, I felt like I got a way closer contact to my sense of a higher power. And my kids may get annoyed sometimes, and my wife, I'm like, oh, let's pray on it. Let's go sit your ass down somewhere. I ain't praying on shit. You still owe me rent money. Like, oh, let's pray on it. But
man, listen, you are saying a lot right now. It's like you got my wheels in my head turning because I relate to so much of what you're saying, man. It's like I feel like from what you were just saying that, hey, man, life in sobriety and living a life of recovery isn't like rainbows, man. There's a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of anger and like, I post a lot, right, on social media. And if you would look at my social media, you're definitely just getting one aspect of my life, and that's the aspect that I want to shine. I don't take nothing away from that because I like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to throw all my problems out there. You know what I mean, for people to like see. But there definitely is always something There's always a problem. There's always an issue. There's always doubt. There's always like these things that I'm facing that are hard, and they make me sad and mad. They make me feel like a failure, and all those types of feelings run through me. But just like you were saying, man, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I ain't using. I'm not going to get high because of these things. And before, I would never even take a second to face any of those type of obstacles. I escape into my thing. You know, so I really thank God. And I believe that's what you're saying is like that. I'm facing those things, and I'm doing those things, and I'm dealing with those frustrations now in my life with a clear mind and doing my best. You know,
hey, straight up,
maybe not always my best, but you know.
Oh no, it's not always my best. Not always my best, but I try to be better every day. One thing my wife dropped on me was I'll get overwhelmed by. I think Christian said this earlier, or you said it, where you try to relive this life, that you messed off, right? And what I try to do is I get overwhelmed. I'll put all these tasks and stuff that I need to do, and I'll pause like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, But she always says, one thing, if that's just sending an email, if that's just changing the shoelaces in the vans, if that's just, taking out the trash from all 3 bathrooms, if that's what it is, do that one small task. It will relieve so much.
And that is real talk. That is real talk.
Honestly, man, like, I'm telling you, like, there's a lot on that list. But, shit, today I went to the dentist. Today I went to the gym. I sat back. I sent out my crew so they can work. Talking about that. And it felt good. You know what I mean? And yes, there's so much more that I have to do. I called the court, found out where my other dates stick to. I'm doing it sober and with my higher power. So who gonna stop me? Who gonna stop me?
We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. We're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
No, man, that's inspiring words, man. I think that message is something that people that like are on the fence, or people just entering and feeling hopeless, like, people dig holes for themselves, man. There's a reason why people use, man, and that hole gets deep. And it's like, man, why even try to get out? But there's always, man, as long as you stop getting high.
Yeah, really, though.
Cling to those people that, are there. That like, you see a dude, and he becomes your brother. He starts talking to you about things that's beyond. It's like a real relationship. Because, I think a lot of people, a lot of newcomers too, they can get caught up like, man, what's the sponsor? Like, is he just going to run these steps down to me and drill me with this? Like, I ain't even trying to do that. I don't even know what that is. But to have somebody special in your life as a sponsor that can talk to you about the game and be real with you and like be a real a brother to you. You know? I think that's.
Look, I wrote this. I wrote this motherfucker my 4th step, so I ain't getting nobody. You know what I mean? He got my 4th and 5th, so you mine till you dead, boy. Stop playing. But hey, no, real talk. So I don't sponsor anybody. I live a lifestyle 10, 11, 12. Okay, I live a lifestyle 10, 11, 12. I'm constantly trying to spread the message in a respectable way, by obviously respecting the principles of a whole bunch of stuff of my fellowship and traditions of my fellowship. I really do respect that, because without those, a brother like me wouldn't have what I have today. One thing I try to do is that attraction, not promotion shit, right? Folks like myself, who feel a little youthful, who feel like, who are black, who are other, brown, whatever you identify with. But I really try to be a representation of authenticity. I try to. So the group of folks. So I met these folks through my 12-step group, and we started a group chat. not just all sober talk.
Yeah.
You know, we got in, and it's like 6 of us. Some of the buddies got young, or like a year, maybe 9 months. You know, we all get together. We got together one time, twice, but sharing information. Hey man, there's a meeting happening over here. Shut up. You know, we just shoot the shits with each other like regular people.
Yeah, man.
Because that's what was absent. You know what I mean? In my darkest times, there was nobody I could sit to and talk. Right. Hey man, you know,
and be your authentic self. I mean, that's a learning and an expression going on simultaneous. Oh
yeah,
you know,
definitely. And honestly, it was all a front before. You know what I mean? Like I said about social media, what I put on, that's what you're gonna see, and that's what I want you to think. You know, right. And this is in my active life. All right, now I am a little bit more transparent on Instagram and social media now. Obviously not letting everybody know all my ins and outs, but at the same time, there's a few people that I follow who shared some who shared some real like intimate like real stuff about themselves. So I would write a little, have the wife edit it real quick, and then post it. And it felt good, and I ran it past my sponsor too. I was like, hey man, look, I'm gonna say this on my stuff, on my page. Like, all right, just respect your anonymity and all that. So honestly, like, I like being open. I like being authentic. I like being like somebody to show like, hey, look, you can still be yourself. Work on your recovery, but be yourself. Don't do this fake stuff. Like, and sometimes, we get caught up, especially on social media. You start seeing people post how their recovery is going. Hey, I'm California sober and all this shit. I'm like, what? You can be California sober all you want. I'm gonna be Nebraska fat then. Like, or I'm gonna be. I stole that. I stole that part. I stole that from a comedian, but he talked about how people talk about being California sober.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
we
whatever.
just had that topic over here not too long ago. Yeah,
can't be half-assed. Me and my girl talk about it too. We say like, oh, if you're gonna be, just say you hardcore drug free. Whatever. To each their own. This is one resentment that I hold to myself. My sponsor always says, don't worry about somebody else's recovery.
Yeah.
If I'm worried about how they doing their thing, there's something I need to look into myself about.
Man,
so
that's almost the mystic moment topic right there.
Yeah, that's why I like that shit.
I mean? That's real.
I just had a conversation. Just had a conversation with a homie. He was trying to bash a certain fellowship, saying it's hypocrisy, and I was like, man, well, to each their own. Maybe focus on your recovery, and you won't have a problem with somebody else's. What he eat don't make you shit. So,
Well, check it out. Check it out, Chris, man. Man, you filled the seat, and your service is really appreciated, man. Thank you for being all the way out there and being able to talk with us and spend some time with us, man. It is truly appreciated. Thank you for sharing your story and showing us, your walk. One of the big reasons we do this is for somebody to hear it and somebody to catch some inspiration and maybe get some answers and learn something through all this. So what we do when we come to the end of this, we ask a question. And the question is, if there is somebody watching out there that's just coming in or is sober curious, right? What would you say to that person? What would you like them to hear about being living a life of recovery?
So for those out there listening, like real talk, man, just do the work like any other metaphor you hear about. Like prayer without work is dead. You can't be in the gym staring at weights and expect to get swole. Same with your recovery. You know what I mean? And there's a variety of paths to recovery. You know what I mean?
Good, yeah.
Find your way.
Yeah.
That's
what you did. It came to you. Your recovery Because if you'd have went to the other place and stayed there, well, you wouldn't even be there. Right?
Yeah,
There is a variety for different people, different ages, different ethnicities, all that.
Yeah.
There's diversity. It's probably, to me, really the most diverse thing. Recovery is the most diverse thing out there, man.
Oh yeah, because there's no discrimination at all.
There is no discrimination, brother, in that.
So yeah, just find your path of recovery, and just expect work. You know what I mean? Just expect work. Nothing in life is easy, and nothing good in life comes easy. So put in the work. As hard and sad as it sounds, if you in here, you ain't normal. Yeah. You ain't normal, and you ain't that special either, because it's a million folks just like this.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So just continue to work a program or work a place of recovery and find spirituality.
Hey, that's it.
Yeah.
So check this out, folks, man. Chris, thank you again. People, this is the Most High Show. This is where we get down and talk real about someone's recovery, someone's vulnerability, someone's spirituality, how they're living life, what they've been through. This is what we do here, man. We got an app, right? We have an app that you can download on your phone that is the Netflix of recovery. Documentaries, shows, podcasts. We got the steps. We got education. We got all that stuff on there, man, right at your fingertips. We got merch. People, where are you at? We need you to plug in. If you need recovery, and I know you got a family. If you live in a sober life, I know you got a family member that needs to hear from us, bro. So please, man, take us into consideration, man. The only reason we do this, man, is because we love people, man, and it's our duty to serve, and the therapeutic value of us serving always comes twicefold on us. And you heard what Chris said. Put in that work, understand that there's a variety in this, man, and find your higher power, man. Find that spirituality. I think that's some great advice, brother. Thank you again. And this is the Most High Show.
Montana Society, an inspiring docuseries about a group of addicts who endeavor to repurpose an underground nuclear bunker in Paradise Valley, Montana. Along the way, they learn to work together under the wild leadership of Dean, a financial guru and outdoorsman who has his money on the line. In the end, will they learn to repurpose their pain and the bunker into something new and wonderful? Find out on this season of the Montana Society.